Hey guys, it's Chris Mitchell here with ClerkHound Point of Sale, and today I'm going to talk about purchase orders, not the kind that you're going to create, but purchase order numbers that are supplied by your customer. Let's say I've got John here, and he brings his guitar in for a string change and a setup, and he's going to give me an ID, and he says, "Hey Chris, I need a quote, and also I need to get I'm going to give you my church's purchase order." Let's say he's getting this done for his church, and they're going to pay for it, so he's going to give me his church's purchase order. And he says, okay, that's the PO number that I've got for my church, and that's how it's going to get paid. And I say, okay, that's great. So I come here, and I've got his repair. If I click out of it, what's really cool about this is I can actually search by purchase orders. Now, that's really cool because I can copy and paste that. If you ever deal with schools, a lot of times they have super long purchase orders, and they order the same thing over and over, whether it's clarinet reeds or if they do a chem clean on a trumpet or any kind of brass instrument. They may have a same instrument over and over, but having a unique purchase order for that instrument is a super, super valuable thing. And what's cool about purchase orders is they follow you throughout the life cycle of this order cycle. So that purchase order will be on there as an invoice. And let's say he says, hey Chris, my church, instead of seeing it as a repair that makes it think they want to get it actually done, let's go ahead and turn that into a quote for me. So, okay, I just say, man, no problem. It's the same thing. We'll go ahead and quote it out for you. And now check this out. I've given it to him as a quote, and there's the purchase order still attached to it. Let's say I want to print it out for him. He says, hey, man, can you print that out for me so I can take it back? Sure, ma'am. I'll print that out for you. So I print it out, and it's got his quote on there. It's also got the purchase order. It keeps the customer purchase order right there so they can read it. And notice it says sent because I clicked print. Just remember, if I click email or print, it will mark it as sent because that way it knows that you've done something to it. So anyway, he comes back in. He says, okay, I want to go ahead and get that repair knocked out, man. Let's go ahead and do that. So I come back over the repair, and I've got that quote. I've got the purchase order, and now I can do the work. So let's say I finish all of the work. I was able to change the strings, and I was able to do a good guitar setup, and I invoiced him out. The purchase order still follows the invoice, and I can save it, and then all of a sudden, it will go ahead and get ready for me to pay. He can pay it in full if he wants to. I'll just give him $40 here. And of course, it'll tell you the change, and then I can email him or print the receipt. Now check this out. Now when I go back to repairs, it's processed, it's done. And here's what's really cool about that. If I open that up and I look at the repair, or it shows that it was paid. It can track all of the linked items. It shows that I did a quote and there was the invoice. So it knows everything that happened. Let's say I go to the invoice. It can show you that that invoice came from repair estimate number 1. So if I click that, it'll take you right back to the root item. Isn't that super cool? And if I go to the quote, the other part is it'll also take you back that was created from repair estimate 1. So that's super cool. That will always show you the root document from which it came from. That way you can track everything across the spectrum. And that's how easy it is to advance repair or a quote and use customer purchase orders in ClerkHound Point of Sale.